Hello there everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how you can prepare for Ramadan this year. So the first step that I have to prepare for Ramadan is to set intentions and set your goals. So you want to make sure that your goals are specific for you and not just generalized goals. I know the normal goals for Ramadan are usually like to finish reading a juz or finish reading the Quran, which isn't bad, but I think that it's much more better and you're going to get much more out of Ramadan if you specialize your goals towards something that you as an individual want to improve and not something that just sounds nice. I think it would also be beneficial to make a dua list of all the duas that you want to make during the month of Ramadan, especially during the last 10 days, because those are the days when one of the nights Laylatul Qadr can appear. So I think it's important to make a dua list of just all the duas that you want for your future, for yourself now. I think it would also be beneficial to have a journal. So like it could be a simple journal like this one where it's like just graphed or line paper or however you want it, and just keep track of like your progress. So if you're reading Quran, you can track down how much Quran you read. If you're trying to memorize hadith, you can write down how many hadiths you memorized. Or if you're trying to memorize a dua, you can write down your progress and if you memorized it well enough, or just write down all the duas that you've learned or translations. You can do it however you want, but I think just keeping a journal of some sort during this month, whether it's for Quran or however else you want to use it, will be really beneficial, because then afterwards you can look back and see all the progress and effort that you've made to change. I think it's also important to remember that you should try to keep your goals continuing on even after Ramadan. Let's say you reach a goal, like let's say for instance your goal is to read 2 verses every single day, so you do that for the whole month of Ramadan. Then you should also continue reading those two verses of the Quran even after Ramadan. That way you're able to keep it up and you feel like you've at least changed in some ways, and you never know, you could go from reading 2 verses to 3 to reading like a full page. The second tip that I have is to start changing your environment. I've seen in some places, like especially Party City, they're starting to sell Ramadan decor, so it definitely would benefit you to just go in there, get some Ramadan decor, or if you don't want to purchase it, you can print out some from online and just decorate however you want. And also maybe try to get a new prayer mat, a new tasbih, get new clothes. And it is a month where you can go really deep within yourself spiritually and change for the better and really change like whatever you want to about yourself. Another important thing is maybe to clear out your apps, and it would also benefit you to like start downloading like Quran, nasheeds, podcasts, lectures, any type of content or resource that's really going to help you furthermore feel the Ramadan spirit, especially on your phone, because we spend most of our time on the phone anyways. You want to make sure that your phone space is full of things that are going to help you progress during Ramadan and enable you to have stronger iman and stronger faith and stronger spirituality rather than to bring you down. The third tip that I have is to get resources. So what I mean by resources, it's like I mentioned before, so you want to download or maybe start making a playlist of lectures you want to listen to, podcasts you want to listen to, nasheed, Quran. You want to maybe download some apps that'll help you further progress in your maybe Quran reading or will help you gain much more knowledge. You want to maybe find websites that can help you. Just anything, again, like not only your phone space but any other digital space even outside of that. So in this last portion of my video, I wanted to talk about some of the books that you may want to get for the month of Ramadan if you're more into like reading books. I have a whole pile of books right here that I'm going to share with all of you, and hopefully you pick one, or if there's any book that you like, then just look in the description down below and I'll have all the links to the books. So the first book that I have is called Timeless Seeds of Advice by Bibi Abdullah, and it's just basically about, well, it includes advice from the Quran, the Prophet Muhammad SAW, and other great Islamic scholars. It's designed to help you through difficult times, give you a source of hope. I'm just reading from this, strength, and yeah, all that other good stuff. But it's a really good book. I really liked it. It's so easy to read, and I don't even feel like you have to necessarily like read it through. I feel like anytime that you feel like you just need a sense of hope or you're like really feeling distressed, I think just picking this up, flipping through a random page. Okay, the next book that I got is it's a book that I knew I needed, and once I got it, I was so grateful that I got it, like alhamdulillah, and that is Reflecting on the Names of Allah. This book is so great if you want to learn more about the names of Allah and you really want to be able to learn how to use them in your daily life. Man, I can't explain. Like, this book is just amazing, and it's again called Reflecting on the Names of Allah, and it's by Jinan Yusuf, and it also includes some duas with the names of Allah that you can use in your prayers. So this next book, I saw a lot of good reviews about it, and at first I was a bit hesitant because I wasn't sure, because sometimes with some of these Islamic books, I feel like the writing style can sometimes, for me, can be a hit or miss. But this one, I saw I read a portion of it on like Amazon, and I thought to myself, wow, that's good. That's some good stuff. It's called In the Footsteps of the Prophet, Lessons from the Life of the Prophet Muhammad SAW by Tariq Ramadan. So this one just basically talks about the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu life and the lessons that we can learn from his life. And just from the outline of it, I really liked it. I feel like one problem that I have with some of the books or the biographies about the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu is that some of them focus on like the Islamic days, which were like days of Jahiliyyah, of ignorance. But to be honest, like, I mean, it's not that I don't care, but it's like I feel like some of them go into way too much like detail and they get like very historical, which I know is an important thing, but I feel like I just want to get out like the lessons from it. Another book about the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu is called Muhammad, and this is by Hisham al-Wadi. And this one again talks about the Prophet's life, peace be upon him, and what he went through. But one thing that's very different is that in this book, it'll like just give you a little sneak peek. It just goes like this. There's like a whole chart, then it'll like explain his childhood or like explain whatever the chapter is about concerning his life. And I think it's just really cool because it goes into like skills, confidence, language, like the actual practical things that we can start implementing. So the next book that I really recommend that you should get for this Ramadan is Reclaim Your Heart by Yasmin Mogahed. This one, she's a classic. Everyone loves this book. I love this book. You should get this book. This book just basically talks about dealing with heartbreak and disappointment and really trying to take back your heart, reclaim it, and how to find healing and just coping with loss and happiness. And this is another book by her. It's called Love and Happiness. This one is much more different from Reclaim Your Heart because this one features more of like poems and prompts and reminders of just love and happiness and keeping faith and just trusting in Allah, trusting in His timing, and trusting in the things that He's doing in your life. One book that I feel like not a lot of people are talking about and they should be talking about is the Muslim Woman Manifesto by Kashmir Mariam, and it's 10 steps to achieving phenomenal success in both worlds. And this is what really attracted me to this book, is that I feel like a lot of Islamic books, like though they focus on succeeding in the akhirah, which is very important, I feel like a lot of them kind of miss out or kind of minimize even succeeding in this life. And what I love about this book is that she talks about different types of purposes. There's like our supreme purpose, which is to please Allah and to reach paradise and to worship and glorify Him. But then there's also our like worldly purpose, which is like to help other people, and it's through that we're able to then gain paradise. And also through our actions can count as worship towards pleasing Allah and doing even just general mundane actions to please Allah. It's things like that are included in this book, and I haven't finished this book. I finished chapter 2, but I was about to start chapter 3. But regardless, I think it's a really great book. I definitely recommend getting this book, and hopefully this book will help you to reinvent yourself and restructure your life so that you can be successful. So next book is one that I haven't read yet, but I would like to read sooner or later, and that is The Crowning Venture. This book is about different types of women who are on the same journey to memorize the Quran, and it includes their struggles, what they had to go through, how they started, and why they wanted to start memorizing the Quran. And I think this is a really great book for anyone who wants to memorize the Quran but needs some inspiration and motivation. It includes a number of stories of women who have memorized the Quran and their struggles. Another thing that I really like about this book is that not only does the author mention the different types of women and the journeys that they've all made to memorize the Quran, but she also includes their advice and tips to anyone else who wants to memorize the Quran. So I think that's a really cool thing. So you don't only get the author's perspective, but you also get different multitudes of perspective on how to memorize the Quran, what can help you, and just again a lot of motivation and encouragement from this book. Okay, last but not least, and personally one of the best books I've ever read that's helped me spiritually grow, and that is Secrets of Divine Love by Helwa. This book is so good, and this is one of the books where I feel like it's very different. It's not really focused on, let's say, like Quran or like stories of the Prophet, but this book rather focuses, I feel like, more on the spiritual side of things and how to just really spiritually connect with the divine, which is Allah, and it's through love. And what I've noticed is that there's like a lot of emphasis on kind of like having fear of Allah, which is definitely something that we need to have, but I think this book brings in a different perspective on what it means to have the love of Allah, and it just is so beautiful, and there's so much gems, so much wisdom in this book. She also gives hadiths from the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu, quotes from other Islamic scholars, and even verses from the Quran. And then she, like, each chapter is based on a different topic. I highly recommend this book. I feel like this book will definitely enlighten you, just make you feel much more spiritually connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and also the faith and the deen. So that is it for this video. I know this video is going to be really long, and I'm going to have to edit a lot. If there are any other tips that you have for preparing for Ramadan, or any other books that you are going to read during Ramadan, then please write them in the comment section below. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.